Salamat po. Kindly sit down. I'd like to just introduce them to you. I do not acknowledge them kasi hindi ka ninyo kilala lahat. Nandito po si Secretary Aguirre, yung he is the best friend of Laila de Lima. Si Secretary Ramon Lopez of the DTI. Wala dito. Well, we have the National Security Advisor, General Esperon. Si ating paboritong Senator Alan Peter. Pero wala siya dito, but he was with me sa aeroplano. Sama niya sino ang pangalan sa mga? Hindi, itong si Escudero. Sino ba? And si Secretary Martin Andanar. Secretary Ibasco, the Secretary of the Cabinet. Si Presidential Legal Counsel, si Panelo. Si Commissioner Prospero de Vera. Kita ninyo sa ANC. Sino pa hindi mo tawag? Yan o. Sa listahan na dito, si Vit was our valedictorian sa law school. Ito naman si Secretary Iyasay, ka-roommate ko. Was with UP Padre Pauro, ako naman sa San Beda, kami ni Vit. So maraming gobyerno nakakilala ko lang yung, hindi kabarkada, but persons that I came to know along the way. You must remember na ako po'y probinsyano lang. And I went to Manila to study. So the guys that I know who would compose the cabinet now, galing Davao City, kagaya ng ating executive secretary, yung mga classmate ko, Secretary Tugadi is also our classmate. Yung mga kasama ko sa dormitoryo, kagaya kay Perfecto Yasay, who also comes from Davao. Brilliant one. Pag magsalita ito, akala mo si Secretary Kerry ng US. Na magdiretso ako sa problema. I have a little problem in the Philippines. We're facing so many fronts. I thank God that the communists has finally accepted our proposal to negotiate and talk with us. There is now a ceasefire sa Pilipinas vis-a-vis with the government forces and the NPA. Ang naiwan po yung, they have also decided to talk. The MI left. But you know, you must you could maybe recall that a few months before, Murad threatened to go to war if there is no BBE law. And in fact, nothing really happened. But we were able to talk to Murad and to Jafar and to the Central Committee of the Islamic Liberation Front to set aside the beating of drums and just talk about peace. Pumayag po sila. But I must be frank with you, I do not mean to, bring sad stories and songs. But you have, as a Filipino, you have every right to know. Para hindi kayo mabigla. I have a problem in a certain sector sa Mindanao. My mother is a mestiza Moro. Ang lola ko kasi Maranao sa mother side. Ang lolo ko Chinese. Galing talaga dito sa yung kapitbahay ninyo. but my father, Cebuano po. So if everybody is asking, ano ka? Well, we trace always our lineage from our father. So Cebuano ako. Kasi though I have not, Mustaday? There's a book written about the Sugbuanons. Kami ang pagka-original ka, hindi ka magsabi Cebuano, Sugbuanon. The Hiligaynon is the Ilonggo. Yung Central Mindanao, yung tribe, Sugbuanon. Kaya yung taga Cebu, magsabi, uwi ka, saan ka mag-uwi? Sa Sugbo. Ganon yan. Tapos yung Waray, then Bicol, Bicolano. Pero ang central is really Sugbuanon. But may ako dyan sa mga scholars na na-convince, and these are the dangerous ones actually, to join the ISIS. Yung mga scholar, when I say scholar, yun yung mga bata na nag-aral sa mga eskwelahan under the tablik. Yung tablik, makita mo yung haba ng beard talaga not even mustache. Tapos all white palagi, anong pare. Because na-convincing ko lahat, ang problema itong sector of the population of Mindanao, especially the younger ones, are allied now with the ISIS. And the ISIS is a very terrible outfit. They are the guys who simply cut the heads of people, decapitate them in public, which is also being done now in Olo. Kaya sabi ko, if you are a Moro, do not be offended kasi pareho tayo Moro. But it doesn't mean to say that I will go for this kind of shit. And you kill people for money, and there's no payment forthcoming. You just kill them like chickens and goats. Mahirap yan. So I'm having a hard time dito sa... I would never agree to talk about peace that would include the Abu Sayyaf. Either you leave them out or walang istorya. I'd rather fight. As a matter of principle, I'd rather fight. I cannot talk about peace to a group almost... I do not want also to offend Islam. But as long as I am president, there will be no peace talks that would include the Abu Sayyaf. Ngayon may isang front tayo. There are bombings city recently of Davao. But it comes naturally. As a matter of fact, when yung pumutok dyan sa harap ng Ateneo, it did not really generate an emotion in me because I knew nahihiritan talaga ako. Not so much coming from the military or the police intelligence community, but from kasi may anak rin ako na nag-asawa ng Maranao ang tatay, ang nanay, Maguindanao, Tausug ang tatay. So doon ako kumukuha, yun yung babae na yun, yung daughter-in-law ko. Sinabi ko, tumatakbo pa lang ako ng presidente, so could I talk to them sa Abu Sayyaf? And publicly I said, I'm extending my hand in friendship. Can we just talk about stopping this carnage of innocent people? Nakausap ko, pumunta sila, but they did not honor my sana na we can talk about peace, and if we can get a framework of federalism, they can have their own territory. Kasi noon walang mga Abu Sayyaf, walang mga kidnappers, walang hold-uppers, wala lahat. Yung bukas pa yung free trade doon sa barter sa going to Sabah. Wala noon kidnapper. They were quarrels but among men because of greed, not because of a Moro nationalism. Remember that when Magellan landed in Leyte, Mindanao was already 100% Islam. Kaya ganun ang nangyari. So, they tried to conquer all the lands, but doon sa scattered Visayas and Mindanao, it was an easy target because they had the cannons, they had the gunpowders, the muskets, those were the rifles of the times, and an aggression really upon our people. But Magellan also brought Christianity, but I will not talk about it simply because it is not a good topic to talk about. Nandyan na yan, dala-dala ng mga Espanyol. And so when they saw Mindanao fertile, below the typhoon belt, and almost really fertile, where you just throw anything and it will grow at that time. And the Spaniards, the most that they could get was really to build a fourth pillar in Zamboanga. What that was it. That was intended to stop the further intrusions of the Islam missionaries. So, yan ang na problema. Sabi ko nga sa mga, kasi ako mixed, so I tell them, ano ba naman kasalanan ng mga ibang tao dito? What would have been the guilt of my father when he was a bachelor, he came to Mindanao and married a Mindanaoan, my mama wonder. Ano ba kasalanan? Kasalanan namin. But there are really things that cannot be solved now. Noon, pwede because the fight was run or fueled by the Moro nationalism. Kanila yung Mindanao eh. And because of religion, kasi kung Islam lang tayong tara, di walang problema. But the problem, naunahan sila ng, well, Visayas upwards. So yan ang sitwasyon. But we're doing okay. Except for the fighting down in Sulu, Basilan, we're okay. And government is winning. But let us not talk about whose victory it is because everybody loses in this kind of a setup. Civil war, talo tayong lahat. Now, there is another problem na mabigat talaga. I came with a prepared speech. Basahin na lang ninyo ito. Bigay ko sa inyo. I am not up to it, really. I am not up to it. Ito magbasa ng speech. It's so boring na. And I cannot say things from the inside, the entrails of my emotions. Preparado, at saka minsan kasi sabi nila, lalo na yung mga diplomatic, basahin mo na lang kasi minsan magpuputang ina ka. Well, I am really trying not to. Alam ko bastos yan, pero nadadala ako sa emotions. Kaya sabi niya, the Republic of the Philippines has a president with a foul mouth. Correct, sabi ko. I am that president. They have a president who is not a statesman. Correct. Nag-enroll ako ng College of Law, hindi ako nag-enroll ng Academy of Statesmen. Law ako ang pinag-aralan ko. Huwag daw ako magmura kasi masama daw pakinggan. Putang ina, problema mo yan. Si Secretary Aguirre, Brad ko yan sa frat, sa San Beda. Alam mo noon, siyempre Brad, magdating kami sa kantin, ang salita kasi ng Davao, halo, Bisaya, pati Tagalog, pero diretso yan. Mag-uwi ako bukas, pero siguro mamalit pa ko ugma kayo, ako mapasalubong. Ganon kami. Nga minsan, kaming mga Brad, kinakantsawan nila ako kasi Bisaya, pati ano. Kaya minsan nagkainitan kami, sabi ko, putang ina. Kung ayaw ni, if you do not know how to talk in Visayan, that is your problem, not mine. Better learn Visayan. Ganon talaga. Doon ako pinanganak sa ibang lugar. May itong isang problema. Drugs. Sabi ng human rights, all over. I am the favorite whipping boy now of the human rights all over the world. Dilema, lahat na. Si Obama, si Ban Ki-moon, isa pa yan. Malapit ba ang Burma dito? Gusto kong puntahan ang sipain niya. You know, ganito yan. Now, let me explain. About 2 years or 3 years ago, General Santiago of the Philippine Army who retired was placed sa PDEA. He came up with a survey says that there are now 3 million shabu addicts in my country. 3 years ago. So never mind the incremental increase. Yun lang nag-surrender sa panahon ko. Ilan? About 700. But we are still counting because araw-araw may nagsusurrender. By the end of the year, mag-abot ng 4 million yan. Now, when I attended this summit, ASEAN summit here, kasama ko si Widodo, the President of Indonesia. Sabi ko, ilan ng iyo? Sabi niya, about mga 4 million. But you know, Indonesia is a big country. Talagang malaki yan. And it's about 240 million Indonesians. Now, if you compare it with the Philippines, na 100 million rather 400, it really bugs your mind. It's a boggling thing to imagine 3,700,000. Huwag ka na magdagdag ng iba. Kalimutan mo ng iba. I have a serious problem in my country. I know that it will destroy my country. And if I will not, or if I fail to interdict this problem, the drug apparatus of the entire gamot of the problem, I would have compromised the next generation of Filipinos. As it is now, it is a fractured generation. This 4 million, at the end of the year, are not contained in any kagaya ng Pandakan o Tondo. They are distributed all throughout the country. Ano ba involved? Naputang ina mga general. 11 generals. Barangay captains, almost about 35% of all are into drugs. Mayors, policemen, we estimate about 14,000. They are the policemen all over the Philippines. How do you suppose can we survive as a country? Hindi lang nila alam, nung mayor ako, sinasabi ko, at magprangka ako in front of the press. They are criticizing me for it. And I said, if you are here, if you're a drug lord or a pusher in my city, I've been mayor for 23 years and above, do not do it here because I will kill you. If you destroy the youth and my country, I will kill you. And then, I did. Well, of course, may caveat yan. When I say patayan ito, I did not say that, kayong mga polis sundin ninyo ako. That's my privilege because I'm a mayor. Now, what is the basic problem with the human rights all over the world, Obama, Ban Ki-moon, and the EU? This is my country, the Philippines. I have to protect the people. I have to protect the integrity, territorial or otherwise, of my country. With this kind of problem, 4 million drug addicts, tignan mo ngayon, namatay na, wala na, down ang crime. You can walk the street Manila. Oh, tawagan na. And I intend to kill more because I have to account for this 4 million. I will not leave the presidency in shame. I will not go out sa pagkatapos ng termino ko at mag-iwan ako ng mabigat na problema na ang addicts now would multiply to something like 10 million. Mas mabuti pa ako na lang ang magpakulong, patayin ko na lang lahat. Simple. Total, hiwalay man ako sa asawa ko, and there are conjugal visits allowed in the Muntinlupa. You may want to visit me, girls only, walang baka may magpasok doon na mahirap yan. Eh, kasi bakla na ako noon eh. Ayaw mabakla ngayon. So, what am I supposed to do? Now, itong human rights, let me lecture on you. Bama, Ban Ki-moon, EU, mga lawyers ng EU because they passed a resolution calling my attention. And even threatening me to face the International Court of Justice. Genocide. Bugok itong mga ga. Genocide sa mong igit. Genocide means you kill the Jews or one tribe, one sect, or belonging to the same religion, or a race. Bakit ako ba genocide? Patayin ko itong mga putang inan to. Walang ginawa kung hindi magsira ng bayan ko. Tapos genocide mo, tarantado. And besides, let me now go into the meat of the matter. I know that there are foreigners here. Take note of this. In my country, are you taking notes? In my country, in the Philippines, it is never wrong, it is not a crime, it is not unlawful to threaten criminals. There is no law at all. Ang itong iyo, alam mo, okay mo, kasi yung mga puti, bugok lang yan. Malayo na, malayo. Aming Bartap Ratcher, pati Valedictoria. Ako, last lang. Sige man inom dyan si Ligarda. So, if you say in your resolution there is that he was heard threatening people, the criminals, of killing them, if you want me charged, the best thing that you could do, you idiots, is go to my country and find out if there is a law in the penal statutes which says that I am liable for this act. If I cannot be held liable in my country, why are you why imprison me with the laws of another country? You must be crazy. Mga ay, bugok. That is the urgent and immediate matter which I have to address. It is my country. If you have nothing else to do, do not F with me. At least civilized. F lang. Now, let me now go to the cost. Pag ang anak mo, alam ko meron kay mga kapatid o relatives na may problema. If there is one guy in the family, the daughter or the son, into drugs, that family becomes dysfunctional. Either the wife will start to blame the husband, or the husband will say, because this guy would spend money not his. Magnakaw na yan sa bahay mo, tapos magnakaw sa ibang tao, then mag-hold up na, pag na tirik na, mag-rape ng 1-year-old, saan ka maghanap ng, where do you get the bestial instinct even for a child? Ngayon lang yan because of the drug problem. What is it that makes everybody under the influence of drug? Because it is the Americans themselves who said in their forensic studies, 6 months to 1 year of incessant use of drugs would shrink the brain of a person within a year. Kaya nag-hold up, kaya nang-rape, kasi sabog na ayaw pang maniwala ng human rights na mga lumalaban. Look at South America. Read, forgot his name, Ion Grillo. It's online. There's a tape, Marcos, stories about Escobar. Yon, mamili ka. Sila ang mamili ng kandidato. Kung sino manalo dito, siya mamili ng ticket. Siya ng candidacy. You can order it online. Ion Grillo. What's the title? Kalimutan. But it's something about South America. My God. Si warlords. Now, the Philippines, sadly, has entered the narco-politics ngayon. Why? I said because most of the barangay captains and the mayors and governors on a local level, policemen. But with the entry of the Lima elected by drug money galing Muntinlupa, the portals of the national level was bukas na. Tingnan mo yung problema natin. So, tapos sabihin lang ako na ito mga unggoy na to. Ipakulong ako sa na. Instead, itong Amerika, they knew the magnitude of the problem. Instead of going forward to help us, itong mga human rights, pati itong State Department, pati itong EU, started to criticize me sa human rights. O ito si Duterte, why does he have to kill them? Why don't he just build a hoy, mga loko-loko? I am operating under a budget that was prepared by Aquino. You must remember that I became mayor sa June election. The one who prepared this year's budget was President Aquino, and which was prepared the other year. And the budget for next year is the one prepared by me to be implemented to run the machinery of government next year. Ganon yan. How am I supposed to know? Kung hindi ako na presidente, hindi niyo malaman gaano kalala ang bayan. Diba? You know, when you talk of 4 million drug addicts, ladies and gentlemen of the United Nations, of EU, at ano ka pang yawa ka? Whatever. You talk of 4 million, that is a very serious problem for my country. The United States, instead of, alam nila is offering help, started to criticize pati si Obama. What? Now, you expect continued alliances. Tapos yung Moody and Poor's, sabi na nagbaba daw ang credit rating natin. Nagbaba ang credit ng Pilipinas in a matter of a day after I criticize you. Is that how we run the economy? Sabi na, tinatanggal daw ninyo yung pera ninyo. Alam mo yan sa stock market, di mo na maniwala dyan. Puro papel mo na shares of stock. Unless I see that money converted into hard projects. Maglayas kayo. I am visiting, not really in the order, but I will visit China. I will open the doors for investment, lot open. Pati internet, mamili ka. Pati bowl dyan sa banyo. Buksan ko yan. Do not. Then I will go to Russia. I talk to Medvedev doon sa Asia. Sikreto lang. Ngayon ko lang sinasabi ito. Now they know. Kalaban nilang Russia, sabi ko that I expect, by the way that things were evolving in that summit, I knew that, you know, it's something that's not, so siniguro ko na. Sabi ko, Mr. Prime Minister, I've always wanted to ask for your help. They might touch the economy, they might do something. I know because that is what they do of countries that are really weak and under their control. Sabi ni Medvedev, visit Russia and we will talk formally. So I'm serving notice now to the Americans and to those who rally. I will maintain the military alliance because there is an RPUS pact which our country signed in the early 50s. But I will establish new alliances for trade and commerce. And you are scheduled to hold war games again, which China does not want. I would serve notice to you now that this will be the last military exercise. Jointly, Philippines, US, the last one. Ayaw ko lang mapahiya si Defense Secretary ko. Then I will not join any patrol in the China Sea. Na ships belonging, gray ships yung battle ship. Ang white is the Coast Guard. Ang warship, they call it the gray ships. There will never be an occasion that I will send the gray ships there. Not because I am afraid, not because takot ako. Anyway, I have this ruling of the International Arbitration Court which says that yung South China Sea, the entitlements there are ours. Let me just explain para maintindihan ninyo. Gusto ninyo makinig pa? Kumain na kayo? Pwede tayo hanggang alas 4 dito? Our conflict with China is not really, it's more of an imaginary thing. Ibig kong sabihin, we cannot go to war just because there is that award. Alam mo ganito yan, ito yung Pilipinas, ito yung seizures natin, coastal, ito yung lupa. Yung lupa dyan, hindi naman kagad na yung pagdating mo dyan sa seaside, coastal, na yan ang teritoryo mo. Because ang underground, yung terrain, yung sabi yung kantil, bigla lang maglalim, yun yan, kasi dito, tapos pababa yan, gano'n. So kung alisan mo ng tubig yan, makikita mo that the ranges belongs to this mountain, which is in the Philippines. So you are now entitled to the entitlements. Lahat tayo, by the agreement amongst us, every country is given it 200 miles exclusive economic zone. Meron rin lahat binigyan, meron ganon. So tayo, ang territory natin is 12 miles. Yan talaga. Ito, open seas na to. But the marine life, the isda dyan, atin dyan because it belongs to the continental shelf of the Republic of the Philippines. Ganon yan. But hindi tayo pwede because there are only two. Either we go to war or we talk. Hindi natin kaya ang China. Sasabi ko sa, even with the help of America. So, we talk. Sabihin mo sa akin, oh, Duterte, bakit? You are abandoning now the award. You are not forgetting that. There will always be a time to reckon the thing with. When that time comes, sabihin ko sa China, ito yung amin. I will talk to you, but I will not go out of the four corners of this paper. Pero it is not the time to die. I am not ready to commit the soldiers of this country just to be massacred. And besides, tangina, ang battleground, ang Palawan. Naluko na, kung dahil natin doon sa San Francisco, okay ako. Oh, rin China, mamili kayo na, few dyan. Pero mag-away tayo, tapos gawin mo ang battleground, paalisin ko, pati ang Amerika, umalis ka dyan. Bakit mo gawin warming deck itong aking bayan? Yan ang sitwasyon. So, sabi nila, plano raw ang CIA na patayin ako. Sus Mariosep, Ginoo. I did not even, until now, I cannot even believe that I'm the mayor. Bigyan mo muna ako ng panahon mag-isip, ako, presidente. I've been mayor for 22 years, kaya ang tawag, sabi ko nga sa kanya, you call me mayor. Do not call me president. Nakukurnihan ako. There are many changes in my time. In my time, silang cabinet members, I have prohibited them from using law number 8 because an 8 is the number assigned to cabinet members. 6 rather. I forgot 6. Oh, wala na sila. Kayong mga senador pati Congress, bahala kayo. The Senate is 7, ang 8 sa congressman. Ako, binawal ko yan. Pati yung ayaw na ito, kung nandiyan yung mga security. Kapo yan sila, magsunod-sunod, bagi sa angka. Alam nila kung saan ka. Kaya sabi ko, pag ang girlfriend ko na, naging girlfriend ng Presidential Security Group, bantay ko sa akin. Barilan tayo sa Malacanang. Kasi alam niya kung saan sila. Alam mo ito mga to, when I won the presidency, wala pang oath-taking. Yung sinundo na, yung the day that, yung pagsabi ng Congress, Duterte won the election. That day, nagpuntahan na agad sa bahay. Ito sila. Ito na po baro. Pareho kami yung uniforme. Mga sundalo natin, Marines yung isa. Si Rolly Bautista was the Task Force Basilan. Here's my friend, si Digoy, here as my senior military aide. Saan yung... Saan mo dito? It's fine. Si Sunshine, she's si Tausug. Police ito. Siya ang aide ko. Pero sinunduan nila ako sa bahay. Pinayos nila yung mga police. Alam mo, mga military. Suya mga police. Yun yung mga security ko for the last 23 years. Wala. Basta kami na take over. Tapos yun. So, una kong opisina, dyan lang rin sa kabilang kaibigan ko, yung Enclaves, yung kay Iskandor sa Davao. Enclaves. Papunta ako, 1 kilometro I know if it's a cortage or entourage. Pagka gano'n, inbili lang ko in all, gano'n lahat. Ayaw ko man I'm never use a siren, gano'n. Ayaw ko yun. I'm the only mayor na hindi gumagamit ng siren. Pagtingin ko doon sa rearview mirror, may mataas yung blinker na pula. Sabi ko, putang, sabi ko, nag-radyo ako doon, sino ba yung, sir, ambulansya yan? Samot ako katirik. Tapos, gusto kong, kaibigan ko lang si Rolly. I know him because he was assigned he earned his post as a general. Hindi pa kaya, he's the general. I was the one who signed his, tama rin, and he was up to be a general. Panahon ko, I signed he's the chief of the Presidential Security Group. But anyway, sabi ko sa kanya, kung ganun lang naman, magkuha na lang kayo ng punerarya para kumpleto yung linya natin. Pag nabaril ako dito, lipat ako sa ambulansya, kung hindi na ako humihinga, di lagay mo lang rin ako doon sa kabaong sa punerarya. Ang ano ko lang is, hindi ko kayo sinasabihan. I do not want to offend you. But wag kayong maglagay ng kamay sa aking yung mga ganon. I like it. Really, I like it. Anak ako ng mahirap. Galing ako sa baba. Kung baga pareho sa kanila, sarhinto rin ako. I was a prosecutor. I started as the 7th assistant prosecutor hanggang pataas. All these years. Ang mga tao sa daw, sanay mag-embrace, ganon. Pero ngayon, kasi I'm sad, wag niyo akong hawakan dito kasi ganon din yung iba kasi, talagang ganon yung kamay mo. Kasi kung maganon ka, tapos bigla na lang parang hampas yung kamay mo. Tapos sabihin, do not. Ako sana, total, wala man ang killer dito. Kung sabihin, sana yung magaganda dyan. At least magtanong sila, ano ang nangyari doon sa Vietnam? Yung lahat na Pilipina naman doon, medyo na-embrace ko. Now, let me give you the staggering economic impact daw. Drugs. Wag na yung 700s of thousands na surrender sa panahon ko. Let's stick to the original survey of John Santiago. Here comes. There are at least 3 million drug pushers or addicts in the country today. One hit daily. Sa Tondo, Pandacan, Santa Ana, 200 dyan noon. So, 200 a day that would be 6,000 a month. Itong mga user pati, Douglas, if they are there, araw-araw, naghihit in 1 year, it would be 8 billion pesos. In a month rather, 8 billion pesos. And for a year, it would be 216 billion. Kayong nagdegosyo dito, walang nakaabot na ganung. No, it is never wrong. Ako sinasabi ko sa mga military at pati police. My orders, hey guys, listen. My orders was, go out and hunt for them. And if you find them, apprehend, arrest them. And if they offer a violent resistance upon announcing your authority, they offer a violent resistance, and you think that your life is in danger, in jeopardy, pati ikaw mamatay, you also would be included in the funeral parlor, shoot and kill them. That is my order. That is legal in any country. When I say that I will kill you, if you destroy my country, I never said I was launching a punitive police action. I used the word, I am declaring war against the drug syndicate. So look what happened. Kung hindi ako na presidente, hindi talaga ninyo malaman ang totoo. Because even I myself, when the reality was there, when I became president, started to squeeze everybody, then you saw the hundreds of thousands surrendering to the police. I was really horrified. Baski kayo nakita nyo sa mga barangay naglinya, hundreds of thousands. And this Bama Bangkimon, and you must be joking. Whether you are there or not, the campaign against drugs in the Philippines will continue, and it will be relentless. And I will not count the dead bodies. I will just say, continue to destroy the drug apparatus. For if you do not do it, it will destroy our country. Make your choice. And the military has understood it. Because we share the same data. So that is my report to you. It's not really. Now, what? So why? Alam mo, there are millions of Filipinos outside of their country. They are spread all over. Kayo dito, OFW, overseas workers. Plenty sa Middle East. Both husband and wife. The wife is in Qatar, the husband is in the Saudi Arabia. They work their ass to death to support the schooling and food for their children. They remit money to the Philippines, to their families. But only one day to hear that his daughter was raped and found dead, or in a different family that his son was soaked into drugs. And for all of his sweat and toil, it boils down to grief. So, do not I will repeat it for all and sundry. In this fight for my country, I put at stake on the table my honor, my life, and even the presidency. If he wants to say to impeach me, fine. but solve the problem. If Congress may say you should go because you are like what Obama said and Ban Ki-moon, okay, make it legal and I'll go, but solve the problem. But if you cannot guarantee me, then there will be trouble in this country. Bakit ko ibibigay sa inyo puro in hotel? Tignan mo lang. Mag-prank ka ako. When Dilima raided yung Muntinlupa, naka-battle gear siya. Garbo, the senior aide of Senator Rojas at that time was inside. Yung police general na, yung one of those I read it publicly. Kaya nabasa ninyo, what was going inside? There was a nightclub inside. Women of all ages were free to enter and leave. Either there was a band, there was liquor flowing. So what's your problem? Why be afraid to go to prison? Anyway, you're enjoying the life of a free. That is how corrupt the Philippines was. Dito, patay ka sigurado. Hindi ako nagbibiro. I'm telling everybody, every meeting sa cabinet, sinasabi ko talaga, nandiyan sila. Do not fucking... This will be a clean government. And let us give the Filipino a respite of the agony and suffering. Kaya kayo, you guys, when you go home, there will be changes. I will not there will be no more harassments in the immigration and customs. I will not allow that. I will not allow that. And itong mga BIR, mga wala na to. It would be a thing in the past. Ang hiningi ko lang sa inyo, just let me know. No need to give me your name. Just tell me who is the son of a bitch in that office and I will take care of him. At sinasabi ko doon sa mga, huwag ninyo akong pahiyaan. Do not put me to shame while I declare all of the things are now implemented and you do exactly what I prohibit you to do. Dali lang man. Now, why am I so predisposed to because we are suffering a crisis. We need to build a country. We are left behind. There are millions of you, including you, you're going out of your country just to work, to earn a living. Tapos, ganunin mo, then you do this to my country, my God. I will not allow you to exist even for 1 minute. Just to be very, very brutally frank with you. I am not a killer, but if you want me to be one, so be it. There's really no problem. A lot of improving, a lot of new cemeteries. They call it a park, heavenly. There was one heavenly, something heavenly place. You go there. 216 billion. And they wanted me to build a rehabilitation center. I do not have that money because the president who allowed it also to bloom never expected that it would reach. It would cost us 216 billion. for food, education, health. So what's the lesson? Sige. You imagine the three. Magtindig kami dyan. Nanonood ba kayo sa debate? Was I good? Ano ako sa... Kung hindi ako na presidente, anong nangyari? Yan pag-isipan niyo. I ran without money. For the entire island of the Philippines, I did not even have one barangay captain outside of Davao City. Wala akong congressman isa except yung nephew ko sa Davao, yung anak ni Nograles. Nakalaban ko. Wala talaga. Walang governor except Aimee, Marcos, and si Abet Garcia ng Bataan, pati sa... Sino ang taga-Agusan dito? Agusan del Norte. Nanalo ako sa Agusan del Norte. I won by about 1,000. Bakit? Just tell them bakit. Ano? Love is a many splendor thing. Is April rose that only grows in the early spring. Now she's married now. Si Angel. Hindi ako nagchichismis. Totoo naman. Hindi ako nang ano. But we were young then. She was just 27 when she became anak to ni Edel Amante, leader ni Ramos. So, si bigwig during the President Ramos's time. Bata pa siya. Hindi naman ako masyado, pero bata pa rin ako. Now we are now in the winter stage of our life. So somebody should give me either summer or spring. Spring me back to my... Why not? Alam mo, I will part with... Hindi ako atras dito. I can die. They can remove me by impeachment. For what? For genocide? Fine. I can go to prison? Fine. I will die? Fine. I live my destiny. I would, by the time, if in the fullness of God times, if I complete the 6 years, I would be 77 years old. The law book says that when I was 77, when you are 70 years old, you can file a petition for release because they do not accept all people in prison. That's the way it is. So, now, bakit ngayon maraming natatrabaho ng pulis? Because then the police were afraid of the apparatus of drug syndicates, just like in South America. The same style. The mayors there were having a headache, and they had, the mayor supervises the PNP. So, but it is a national police, but the police is placed under their operational control. So the mayors there, the warlords, the drug lords, had about 2 military men, 3 policemen, and nobody was moving against them. Exactly, you read the book of Grillo. Exactly the same. Until I became president, and I announced, you soldiers and police, you abandon your mayors. Go back to your units. I'll give you 24 hours. You drug lords, your mayors, I mentioned the name, surrender within 24 hours or I will kill you. Hindi nag-surrender ang mga gago. Mga hambugiro yan eh. Kaya mga mayor, mga ano, ayan namin kita, takbo-takbo sila doon sa krami, pawis na pawis. Then I said that I have declared war against it. Either I sink and swim there, basta it has to end. And I will not stop until the last pusher is removed from the streets. Until if that is the only thing that I will do in this world now, I will do it. I said, I'm ready for anything. For after all, I never really expected to be president. But I got 15 million, 6 million majority from my nearest opponent. Why? Gwapo ako. Hindi naman ako tisoy kagaya kay Senator Cayetano. Why? Why? I may be popular in Davao. I've been a congressman there one term. I was also one term vice mayor ng anak ko yung si Inday ng bugbog ng sirip. Then was a prosecutor for 10 years and a mayor for 23 years. That's my political investment. Outside of that, wala. Why did I win? Why? Tell you. It was in the messaging. Galit ang tao na walang ginagawa sa gobyerno kundi mangurakot. Galit ang tao kasi yung bayan niya nilulong sa droga at walang ginagawa. Galit ang tao sa kriminalidad. Kaya yung pagpunta ng airport, hugan pa ng bala. Gawain na yan sa panahon ko, pag nandiyan ka tawagin mo, pasabugin ko yung bayag na sa harap mo. Hindi mo man ako ma-aresto ngayon. Presidente ako eh. Really. The president has immunity. At sila. Now, I'll tell you the secret. Nakikinig ang the national media. I'll tell you the secret. Why are the policemen so brave? Because they have my support when I was mayor. Davao City was clean. Sabi ko, papatayan ko kayo. And the police were really busy working because they were not afraid to do their job because binaback up ko. At sabi ko, pagka nang kasabit kayo, ako ang magsuporta sa pamilya and I will work for your freedom. That was when I was mayor. Now I'm president. Remember the guidance about your life in jeopardy? Huwag mo lang kalimutan yan and go ahead and fight them and kill them all. Pag nasabit ka, ito ang si Aguirre ang nag-advise sa akin eh. Kaya kasali ito sa co-conspirator. Di pa ako president, sabi niya, ito. Masa namin dalawa, ay mag-classmate. Under the powers of the president of this republic, Philippines, can grant pardon to criminals, conditional or absolute, and can grant amnesty with the concurrence of Congress. Sige. Pagka doon. Pag sabi, sir, sabit kami, multiple murder. No problem. Get your copy of pardon. It's pre-signed. Pardon is hereby granted. Nandiyan sa Constitution. It does not even say for 5 times only a month. Wala. It does not even say except to himself. O di pag-alis ko, pag panahon na, pardon is hereby granted to Rodrigo Duterte for multiple sign, Rodrigo Duterte. Seriously now, I'm just really joking. to lighten up your mood, I've been telling stories about sordid details. And I know that you are sad after this, just thinking about what was revealed to you now. But just remember that I take it as a, I said I never won. I never rather really believed that I'd win. So it was, my messaging was very simple. You were there during the debates. Sabi ko, I promise the Filipinos these things, and I will do it. Maraming salamat po.